Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about when you know that Albania feels like your new home. When does that happen? For many people, it's going to happen at different stages, meaning there's not a time frame that I can give you. For me, I know it took at least 6 months for me to get comfortable. I didn't say at that time like I just love the country and I wanted to stay here forever, not that kind of thing. But after 6 months, I started getting used to being here, forgetting that I was even in Albania or a foreign country from the one I was originally from. So it did take about 6 months for me. For you, it could take longer. It could take less time. But today what we're going to do is go over some of the signs where you can look back and say, okay, yeah, I guess I'm starting to make this place feel like home. The first one is when you start realizing where everything is. This is a big one. I don't know if you've ever moved to a different city before. It's confusing when you first get to some place other than where you're used to. You got to find out where the grocery stores are, where the ones you like are, then everything else, where to pay your bills, where to do this, where to do that. In the United States, where I'm from, that's kind of easy for a lot of things because most of it's done online. Not here in Albania. There's a lot of things you're going to need to go to pay various bills, and you may end up going to many different grocery stores like my wife and I do to get everything that you need. There's not one grocery store that has absolutely everything. You learn where to park eventually. You learn where your favorite pharmacy is, those type of things. That's a good indication that it's starting to feel a little bit more like your new home. Another one is when people start recognizing you. This could happen quicker than you think. Reason being, yes, some of these cities feel big, but they're actually very small. Population here in Albania is around 2.8 million people, which sounds like a lot until you're in your city. You will see people on a daily basis, all the time, almost from the get-go. Don't be surprised if you're a very friendly person and get to meet a lot of people that you start seeing people that you know every day. And that's a good sign that it's feeling like your new home. It will help you feel like it is your new home. When you're walking down the road and you hear your name, it will startle you at first, but then you'll get used to it. The next one is when you stop comparing everything to home. This is a big one. When people first arrive here, well, in the US, I did this. Well, the United States, we would do it this way. Well, in the US, you're not in the US anymore. You know it's feeling like home when you stop using your home country as a reference to compare with your new country, which hopefully will be Albania. You need to ditch that as quickly as possible. But when you do it naturally, you might consider Albania your new home. Another thing, another sign is when you start adhering to unwritten rules. For one, parking. Let's say you have a car. When you start parking or trying to find a parking space here in Albania, you don't understand it at all. It just feels like it's a crazy place for parking. There is no parking, and every time you do park somewhere, you end up with a ticket. But after a while, you'll figure out where you can park, and it will make things seem a little bit more normal here, or more like home, because you understand how things work, especially with the cash versus credit card type mentality. Again, saying you're from the United States, you use your card for just about everything. When you get here, you're gonna use cash for almost everything. And when that starts feeling normal, maybe you're starting to acclimatize to your new home. And when you stop panicking when things don't happen the way you think they should happen. Be prepared for this one. Things are done differently in Albania. It's easy to panic and think that everything is going wrong. Just remember, they do things different with a different mindset, a different time span. It's a little bit more relaxed, something you're gonna get used to. When you are used to it, this place will feel a lot more relaxed and more like home. And it's definitely gonna feel like a little bit more like home when you start thinking in Albanian phrases. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? But not really. When you start understanding yes and no, which is po for yes and yo for no, They sound a lot alike. And whenever you start thinking yes or no in your head in their language, not to mention hitting the thank you, the falamanderit, when you should, or when you say good morning, mirmanjes, and it just rolls off your tongue, you might start thinking that Albania is your new home. You're starting to fit in. Because at first, don't be surprised if you go for your greeting, përshëndetje, and you accidentally say thank you as your greeting. It's happened to my wife 100 times before we started getting a little bit better with the language. But once we got a hold of it, now everything feels a little bit better, more like home. We often forget that we're in a foreign country. As a matter of fact, every day we forget we're in a foreign country. We have been out of the US now for 5 years, but it feels right as rain here in Albania, and we do feel like we fit in. Unless I'm wearing shorts and flip-flops, then I don't. Now this next one is a big one, and guys, you'll really appreciate this one. When you get into a normal routine, a lot of us are people who like routine, and when we don't have one, we don't feel settled. But as soon as you get to that point in your new country where you have a routine that you do every day, it will help immensely feeling like home. Now, it's not like you can force yourself into a routine. It kind of mutates and happens on its own. But when it does, rejoice, because now it will feel a lot more like Albania is the place you need to be. The next one is when you start defending Albania. You're gonna meet other people who just moved here after you've been here for a while, and they will start their trash talk about Albania. And when you find yourself defending Albania, congratulations. You've grown to love the country. It's a lot more like home, and you'll be startled at how it offends you if someone starts trash talking Albania. Another one is when you haven't thought about moving somewhere else. In other words, you're not always looking for another country or another place to go to live. When you're settled here in Albania, you don't start looking for another country to move to, at least hopefully not in the near future. So these are all things that can be good signs that you've acclimatized here to Albania. Now again, the time frame varies. You've got peaks and valleys with your emotions. When you first move here, you can't wait to get here, and it's the honeymoon phase, yay, yay, yay. Then you start having to do some work. You need to find out the grocery stores, you need to find out the pharmacies, you need to find out all the daily things that you need to do. Then you need to get some things done. You need to buy some furniture. You need to do this, that, and the other. Then you start interacting with other Albanians on a daily basis. Things don't normally go the way you plan for them to go. You weren't expecting this, you weren't expecting that. They said they would be here tomorrow, they never showed up. You go call them, they don't answer the phone. You text them, they don't text back for 3 or 4 days. So what I'm saying is the frustration of the new culture sets in, and you get very irritated, annoyed with everything, and this could compound. And depending on your situation, maybe you got scammed somewhere in your first 3 or 4 weeks of being here. These things can possibly happen. It's the way you react to them is going to decide whether you make this your home, or since everything didn't go perfect for you, are you going to flee and go somewhere else? There is no perfect place on this planet. If you keep going from country to country looking for that utopia, you will never find it. You're going to have to reach down inside and, fight it. You're going to have to get used to things not being perfect. But after a while, when you fight through all the things that are discouraging you, there'll be an aha moment. I get the way things are done. I got to quit fighting it and kind of go with it. And then it starts feeling like home. I hope this all makes sense to you. I'm trying to prepare you for Albania because I like to see you stay here for the long term. And a lot of people that I see come into the coffee shop that we meet are not prepared at all. Some are not. So what I'm trying to do is get you prepared before you come over here. And if you want more one-on-one help, you want to talk to other people who are moving here to this country, and you want all the resources that I could possibly give you, including You can text me anytime and I can respond to you at any time. Join our community group, link down in the description. And I do have an overview of what the video is about right here. So thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And until next time, I'm going to say thank you in Albanian, which is Faleminderit.